everyone, welcome back to another planner video and welcome back to what is already the end of November 2025. I cannot believe that we are already heading into 2026. So with that in mind, I am going to spend some time today setting up my Louis Vuitton GM for the rest of the year. I have an extremely busy time coming up from now until the end of January, and between work, projects, my master's, personal commitments and work trips, I need to get my planner in order so that I don't lose sight of anything and make sure that everything gets ticked off. So I have a couple of things coming up. I have a family trip next weekend to Belfast. I have our work Christmas party the following weekend. I have a big training session, an off-site kind of 2-day training session in work where we're staying over in the hotel. And then I have a trip to Sidmouth in the UK for a week for work and some personal, as well as I have some dinner arrangements made with friends while I'm over there. And in between that, I have my master's degree in my master's in HR, and my assignments are coming in thick and fast, so I have to keep up to date with those. And also I have the usual 9 to 5 working as a HR manager for a busy charity. So without my trusted planner, things could get lost along the way. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who is following on along my journey, and if you haven't already done so, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel as I try to grow my community around here. So I am going to switch the video down and then I will come back and talk a little at the end. So I will see you all again shortly. Hello everyone. Okay, so we are going to get this bad boy ready for the rest of the year. I am just going to start with something I printed out. So this is my tasks and to-do section, and I think this can stay. However, I noticed in the outbox I have ran out of the weekly priority sheets that I use, so I printed out some more. Now this was a free printable from the nittyandgritty.com, and I use one of these each week as a running to-do list, and I just store the extras in here in the outbox. So that can stay there for now. In the quarterly overview, I just want to add the Sidmouth work trip, the Xmas party, and we also have an off-site 2-day event at Springford Hotel. And this is where we will take our welfare team off for a kind of a training / wellness event, and also have their Christmas get together as well. So we will stay over at the hotel for that. Okay, so the month then. Okay, so I need to schedule in what is coming up. So on the 22nd, I need to drive to Dublin. I'm going to stay in my grandparents' house. So I have a half day that day. And then on Saturday, we are going to Belfast. So there is some of my cousins and my aunt going to Belfast for the Xmas markets. Okay, and then I will take out this current week, and I'm also going to switch up the inserts that I am using for the rest of the year. So I can take all of this out, and this is an undated weekly from an Infinite Lotus subscription box. So I am going to keep that aside in this CEO folder that I got from Cloth and Paper. I have numerous different examples of weekly undated sheets that I can use there. Sorry, this is actually the daily ones. So I'll get the right folder for that. These are dailies. And let me see. These are the weeklies. So they're just different versions of undated weeklies that I can use. Okay. So I will take these out because I will need to take all of the to-dos from here in a moment and write them into my planner. For the rest of the year, I'm actually going to go back to using the cloth and paper week on 2 pages. So Monday will be the 17th already. I'll have a this week divider tab. There's a bit of colour showing up on that, but anyway. And a weekly priorities. And in a moment, I will go back and write in all of my to-dos. Then we will go to December. Okay, so in December, I have the work Christmas party, work night out. And we will stay in Mallow. And then I am flying to Bristol on the 9th. And I have Sidmouth. I've got a planning meeting. We've got our people team Christmas party. The people team is another name for HR teams. And then on Friday, I need to travel back to Bristol and fly home. Okay, and then I have one more week of work and then I am off for almost 2 weeks. So I am going to travel to Donegal via Dublin on the 24th, and I will visit my grandparent while I'm there and split up the journey because it's a 5-hour journey, so I'm going to split that up, and then I will be probably coming home to Cork, travel back to Cork on the 27th. I will also be finished all of my college work by the 7th. So that means I have my trip to Bristol and also my trip to Donegal completely college work free, and I can relax and enjoy those. So after that, then we will need December's weeklies. So these are the cloth and paper ones, and I'll add those in there. So I'm just going to also put this December tab on here so that I can quickly find those when I need them. Okay, so that's my weekly section. Now let me just go through all of these sheets to see what I have and still left to do. Okay, so I need to do a trustee report for my manager by end November. I need to prep a long-term sick case. I need to check all of our frequent absence casework. I need to look into auto-enroll and how that is progressing. So our government have introduced a new pension this year for anyone who's not in a private pension scheme, and any employees that aren't will be automatically enrolled into the new government scheme. So there's admin around that. I need to prep for the health and safety quarterly. I need to look into a carer's leave arrangement for an employee. We need to look into our fleet insurance and a system for checking if employees have penalty points or convictions. I need to book our learning partner for an off-site day in January. Okay. I need to work on the video. So we're making a video of all staff for our annual general meeting, and I need to work with our marketing girl, Evelyn, on that. I need to fix a system workflow. I need to focus on check-ins, managers, need input. Okay, I think that's everything. And I had these two sticky notes. Open HR. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I think I was going to try and use some of these page pins as well, just to mark out the trip I'm going on. I got these recently and I haven't tried them yet, so I thought it'd be nice to see how they look when I am marking out a full trip in my calendar. Very good. Okay, so that is my work planner all sorted out for the next couple of months. I have my week on 2 pages, my monthly inserts. I have December's pages in there. Let me just check if I have enough note paper to do me. Yeah, I think I have. So there we go. That is my A5 agenda set up for the remainder of the year. Okay, everyone, that was my planner set up for the rest of the year. I really hope you enjoyed watching me set up the GM for November and December. I'd like to know how you guys are setting up your planners for 2026. That's something that I've been thinking about because, as you know, I use an awful lot of planners in my weekly setup, and there is a downside to that in that you need a lot of inserts to fill them. So for work and probably for my wallet and on the go, I will definitely be purchasing some cloth and paper inserts. But there is no way that I could afford to do that for all of my planners. As you know, cloth and paper can be quite expensive, especially when you're shipping it in from the US to Ireland and there is customs to be paid. So I think I will probably go with purchasing the printable PDFs from Infinite Lotus, and that way I can print multiple copies of whatever I need for my other planners. So what are you thinking of doing for 2026? Are you going to stick with A5? Are you changing it up and trying something new? I'd really appreciate it if you left me a comment down below. So my next video is going to be a HR related video. I am going to be setting up a planner for my HR freelance work. I think I'm going to use this cloth and paper cover. It's a folio with detachable rings, and I'm going to set this up because in 2026 I want to start earning some extra money by going back to freelancing. I used to do a little bit of freelancing where I would set up contracts, handbooks, health and safety statements for small medium enterprises. So next year, as I want to start redecorating my house, I am going to start doing a bit of a side hustle, and of course I will need a planner for that. So if that interests you, please do consider sticking along for the next video, and as usual, thank you all for watching and for stopping by.